welcome to episode 78 of Who Gives a Dram. We are here, Whiskey with Kin number 8. Kale is here again, recurring guest, 24 years old now. It was his birthday Saturday or Sunday? Sunday was your birthday. You turned 24.
Yeah.
So Kale's 24. Kale, thanks for coming over. How are you?
Shut up. You know exactly how I am.
I don't.
I'm good.
The people don't know how you are.
I'm good.
When was the last time you were on? The last time you were on was for
our,
you to straight flex.
Yeah.
That was
I
the
only
purpose.
come on to flex. Case A.
Well, okay, this is not your fucking bottle.
It's my bottle.
It's not. It was given to you in the heat of the moment.
Exactly.
It could have. If I asked for it, it could have been mine.
No.
Anyways, thank you again for tuning in to another episode. As I said, Whiskey with Kin number 8. We are going to be reviewing the 2017 edition of Old Forester's Birthday Bourbon because it was Kale's birthday and we haven't done a Whiskey with Kin for a while. So I figured let's do this. Let's get it rolling.
What was the last one?
Where you flexed?
That was the last whiskey. I know the last time I was on, but you haven't done a Whiskey with Kin since.
No, I have not.
Oh.
I don't think so. But regardless, the best way to support the podcast is going to be to make sure you're subscribed on all platforms. Make sure you're following on Instagram and all social medias. And this podcast is presented by the Grapevine Media.
Nature Box.
Oh, shit. Yeah, man, I'm kind of tired today.
Yeah.
I'm a little pooped.
Well, you're all of a sudden going to the office again.
The thing about going to the office and not going to the office is if it's a hybrid model, there is 1,000% a leniency for those that are going to the office. Meaning, I can do worse, but since I'm in the office, I'm technically doing better.
Yeah, because they're not looking into it as much.
And it's honestly, it's like not even that big of a deal. Like going to the office is not, unless you got an hour commute and it's a pain in the ass. For me, it's not a big deal. It's 25 minutes of just about straight highway. It's just getting up early.
Is Dylan going in all the time now?
He always goes in all the time.
Hey, Dylan.
Dylan's not going to listen to this.
Don't care. Actually, no. I don't know how many Dylans you have to listen to this, but I was going to say not Dylan Castle.
Yeah, no, Dylan.
It's disrespectful.
The Dylan I work with. But there's definitely a sense of, not favoritism, but there's a different vibe for those who go into the office as opposed to those who are strictly home. Mm-hmm. So I like to go into the office more often so I can be a favorite, and that way when I take days like Friday off with a week's notice, which is perfectly acceptable for PTO, but I don't feel bad about it because I am in the office and I'm doing my part.
Right.
But other than that, how's your job going? You have a new job. I'm going to pour some of this.
Yeah. It's going good. No complaints.
That was terrible.
That was its old bottle.
So, like I said, we are going to be doing a little bit of 2017 birthday bourbon today. This is... Can you read the stats, please?
It's 12-year bourbon. I think it's...
Age stated at 12 years, by the way.
Age stated, correct. 48% ABV, 96 proof.
Okay.
It even gives you a little...
Go closer to the mic for sure.
Little like a stat card. Actually tells you the nose and the palate and all that fun
we
stuff.
don't do that. The last time we did that together, we got warm baked multigrain bread. So
that was E.H. Taylor, right?
That was small batch E.H. Taylor, yes. This is definitely going to be an episode you want to watch on YouTube because I feel like there's going to be a lot of downtime because it's going to take me a minute to get my palate ready when I'm doing the tasting. But what did we do this weekend? We saw Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness on Thursday, which I will be giving my thoughts on my other podcasts Mr. Podcast. I got a podcast for every day of the week. On Popcorn Pillow Talk, I'll be breaking down Doctor Strange at some point. But to make it quick here on Who Gives a Dram, not the best movie. Not the best movie.
That's not what you've been saying. You've literally been saying it's bad.
Some might say it's kind of bad.
No.
I don't want to say spoilers. I rewatched that one scene where that one person something might happen to that one person. Similar to a elastic band.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole confrontation was so dumb. Just idiocy.
Yeah, no, you're not.
And
wrong.
that person's not supposed to be an idiot.
They introduce him as.
I
know.
Anyways, we saw that on Thursday, right? So Doctor Strange, it's blah. That's honestly the best way to describe Doctor Strange.
It has its moments.
It's blah.
It's got its moments.
It definitely has its moments. It has some sick moments. But for a multiverse movie, there wasn't a lot of madness. There wasn't a lot of madness in it.
They got people's expectations too high and didn't live up to it. They kept saying, it's like 30-plus cameos, this and that. Bring in Nick Cage's Ghost Rider, and, they were never going to deliver. Smur.
Jesus Christ. It just wasn't that good. Friday, we had our whiskey tasting, our annual, what do we call ourselves? The Whiskey Tribe.
Yeah.
The meeting of the minds with Adam, who is supplying a hitter of a bottle for my review either next week, the week after that, or the week after that. I don't know when it's going to be yet.
You hit it.
It's right there.
I know what it is. I thought it was on your shelf.
No, it's not on my shelf. And then Matt as well, Black Market Spirits with Black Market Rye. He's going to be on the podcast soon. I want him to come on, here. I want to sit down, but I got to figure out a better way. I need a studio. If anyone out there wants to donate, I'd say conservatively $100,000 to the podcast, let me know. It will all go towards a nice studio, and you can also be a guest.
Start a GoFundMe.
No. I just want one random listener. There's a lot of listeners to this. There's got to be one person who has $100,000 just to donate it to me.
There's a TMP episode where one of the
I know. Yeah, $2 million.
I'm just here to ask one fan to donate $2 million.
Correct. Yep. There's nothing 10-minute podcast that you can say that I don't know.
I know, but it's now that I've heard everything, it kind of clicks.
Would you say that's your favorite podcast?
Yes.
And I turned it on to you?
Yes.
Interesting. What's your second favorite podcast?
Rogan.
What's your third favorite podcast?
Congratulations.
What's your fourth favorite podcast?
Life in the Basement.
Okay, that's respectable. What else? What do we drink on? Let's name some of the stuff we drank at our whiskey tasting, right?
We hit we had Parker's Heritage orange curacao finish,
which was incredible.
Yeah, that was creamsicle in a cup.
That's cream in a cup.
Okay.
I'm creaming in my cup right now. I'm wearing a cup. I am always protected. We
had E.H. Taylor 4-grain.
The usual. I've posted that in the past. That's standard now. That's nothing special. E.H. Taylor 4-grain, nothing special.
We had the Heaven Hill 27.
Evan Williams 23.
Evan Williams 23, which is one of the best tasting whiskeys on the planet.
Very tasty.
Bar none.
For a 23, oh my God, it's so much better than the Heaven Hill. I really hope
it's
the Heaven Hill...
It's so much better than the Elijah Craig 23, which we also had.
Yes, I really hope the Heaven Hill 17 year, the new release, isn't as bad as the Heaven Hill 27.
It has to be just an age thing, because you think of how much oak the 27 has.
Oh God, it's disgusting. It's really, really gross.
We should be able to try it, per my sources.
Yeah, we probably will be trying it. Or even then, I can maybe request a media sample, and they might send it to me. I've never tried doing that before. People just send me bottles that they want me to review, and I never have to request it.
Oh, we started the night off with...
We started the night off with the Bradshaw pick. I forced everybody to take a shot or a swig or a bottle chug of my Bradshaw pick. Just right down there. Shit's good, man. It got a warm reception.
Yeah, it was taken nicely by the crowd.
Yeah, it really did. And I was happy with that because the one thing I want people to be is to be honest with me. If it's not good, you tell me. But, and I was telling a friend of mine this the other day, like, honestly, it's really easy to coerce people into saying something is good or mid.
Did you say coerce? It's coerce.
Fucking, I don't care, bro. You think I give a
Dram?
Yeah, no, I do give a dram. I forgot what I was saying.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Let's talk about.
Well, no, we had some other hitters. We had $60,000 of whiskey on that table or something.
That wasn't $60,000.
It was a lot of money. None of our stuff ever. Nothing that me or you.
No, the Penelope Light whiskey was a hit.
Barrel proof.
Each other barrel proof, obviously, but the Penelope Light whiskey.
You're right. That
shout out
was
to Mike and Donnie, Donnie. Both thinking of Wolf of Wall Street. I just watched Wolf. When's the last time you watched Wolf of Wall Street?
After like a year. I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, I watched it a few nights ago, just like half of it. But Donnie in there is just terrible character. What are you doing?
We're missing something. No, we're not. Never mind. Because I won't say.
Yeah, there's one. Well, I told Weller Single Barrel. You can say it. I posted a freaking video of it on my Instagram. Yeah. We had the Weller Single Barrel, and I'm going to be reviewing it in a few weeks. It was a great night, though. A great night of Whiskey Minds. A lot of things coming down the pipeline with that, hopefully, with this podcast and with other things as well. That will be fun to announce. Saturday was the fights, which I want to talk about. Mm-hmm. So I think this podcast is going to be broken into two parts now that we're 12 minutes in. Me and Kale are going to break down UFC 274, and then we're going to break down this whiskey. Then we're going to call it a day. Timestamps below. So let's go into UFC 274. Yes, I've been doing it for weeks.
No. Okay.
Let's go. Let's just start with the canceled bout of Donald Cerrone versus
Rebooked.
Joe Lozon. When?
Cowboy posted today, said we'll see you in a few weeks.
Okay, so maybe
probably
maybe 275.
What's Adesanya? 276.
275.
Adesanya's 275.
What's the June pay-per-view actually?
Well, there's two. There's June 2nd and there's June 30th.
UFC.
Adesanya's June 2nd, I believe.
No, he's in July. I thought. UFC 271 is no. I'm sorry.
275. Oh, we're not buying 275. Oh, you're right. July 2nd, July 30th.
So it's we're
right there.
UFC 275, 276. Adesanya versus Cannonier. So that could be where Cowboy's talking about, unless they're going to put him on Teixeira.
That's where we get Islam.
UFC 281. Mm-hmm. So they have the late July pay-per-view hasn't been booked yet.
Correct.
That is rumored to be in Boston.
It was
Stipe versus
which already
John Jones.
confirmed that's not happening in July.
Who confirmed it?
Dana White.
When?
In the post-media scrum.
I watched the whole thing, and he did not. He did
said
not say
that Jones, because Jones came out and said.
Well, yeah, but he didn't say. I'm talking about it not being in Boston. That's all I care about.
I'm talking about this.
I don't care fights. I want to go.
No, I'm talking about the Jones Stipe fight.
Yeah, that's probably going to be in September. But going back to UFC 274, Cerrone versus Joe Lozon canceled. Donald Cerrone had some
upset.
Yeah, he had a upset stomach. That's for sure. He had food poisoning.
Upset that we didn't get to see it.
So So first of all, this was a boring card if it wasn't for two fights. Mm-hmm. Two fights saved it. Chaos Williams versus Randy Brown.
Didn't even watch it.
Yeah, do you even remember any of the
Making
fight?
Pizza?
Yeah, Making Pizza. I don't think I was even watching it. Randy Brown won by decision. Who gives a bollock? Who gives a dram? Light heavyweight, which could have had the potential to be an exciting fight, was OSP versus Shogun Rua.
It's Shogun.
But Shogun's a legend. Incredible knockouts on his record. And OSP usually gets people to the ground and submits them. The Von Flue choke.
The St. Preux choke.
Correct. Ended up being a really boring fight. OSP won by decision. And again, it's kind of like you're two fights in. There's been a lot of decisions on the card, and it's just like, oh, God. Thank God Michael Chandler versus Tony Ferguson's up next, which I think was probably the people's main event, right?
And then we witnessed a murder.
Would you say that was the people's main event over Oliveira Gaethje?
Yeah.
everyone was looking forward to Michael Chandler versus Tony Ferguson. Michael Chandler coming off a loss to Justin Gaethje and a loss to Charles Oliveira. Tony Ferguson coming off a 3-fight skid versus Beneil Dariush, Justin Gaethje, and Charles Oliveira. So both of them needed a win, and one of them got a big win.
Yeah, in the first round, Ferguson knocked him down. Ferguson had him hurt. And then 10 seconds into the round 2.
The first round looked like vintage Tony Ferguson for sure.
Yeah. Blades and shades.
The first round was Tony Ferguson coming forward. Very, very aggressive, very active, feints, head movement, hand movement. And although, the last part of the round, he was kind of mounted and Michael Chandler was raining down some fairly good ground and pound. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, it was not a bad round. It was a 10-9 round for Chandler, but it was not a bad round for Ferguson. And we were all pumped when Tony Ferguson was landing and wobbling Chandler. He
dropped him.
Did he drop him?
He dropped him.
So Ferguson was really turning it on round 1. So we get out round 2. I remember I'm talking to Gleason. I'm like, dude, Ferguson is turning it on this round. Here it comes. And then 10 seconds in, you walk in with a goddamn screaming Sicilian pizza, and you walk right in front of the TV as soon as Michael Chandler field goal kicks Tony Ferguson's chin to his eardrum.
I didn't walk in front of the TV. You guys just looked at me as I walked in.
Same thing.
No, not the same thing at all.
It's the exact same thing because you are taking the point of visual substance to you, not to the TV.
Maybe if you had more discipline, you wouldn't have taken your eyes off the TV.
You should have waited. You should have known that was coming. That's on you. That's just a bad. You were just being a bad host because it was in your room. We were watching.
Bad host.
So
it's my birthday.
And it wasn't your birthday at that time. First of all. Well, there it is.
Sorry.
Chandler kicked the shit out of Ferguson. What was your reaction? What was your immediate reaction?
Well, none of us saw it. But when I saw his barely breathing corpse face down on the mat, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, he fell.
Just to be clear, I think all of us were going for Chandler, except for Tom.
I don't know. I was going for Ferguson. I was very heavy on Ferguson.
I was really going for Chandler. I'm a Chandler guy. I like Chandler. Ever since the Bellator fight, I've been a Chandler guy. Granted, if he fights McGregor, that's a different story. But the call out is probably one of the best in recent history.
I was so happy with the call out from Michael Chandler because it hit all the notes.
It's a promo. He's screaming it.
It hit all the notes. He has one of the best knockouts in recent memory, if not in UFC history. Probably the most powerful leg knockout of all time.
Do you not remember last year's KO of the year?
Kale, Michael Chandler literally wound up his leg and kicked Tony Ferguson straight in the fucking face.
Yeah, and that other dude spun while his other foot was being held by the guy and sweet chin musiced him to the point where he couldn't even decide whether to fall or not. He was just...
I would argue Michael Chandler's kick was probably a bit more powerful.
Edson Barboza's.
That was just some spinning shit. I mean that.
Yeah, and that he was.
That was not more powerful than Michael Chandler field goal kicking Tony Ferguson's fucking face with the ball of his foot.
When you're thinking more powerful, I don't know what noise just came out of me. When you're thinking most powerful, then you can't even put a lightweight in there. When you have people like Crow Cop, who are throwing that 260-pound plus leg at people and landing it.
Yeah, but look at how Michael Chandler set himself up. He literally stepped back and he put all of it.
Yeah, it was like Ryan kicking a field goal.
Correct. That's exactly what it was. And regardless of what you think, it was like Anderson Silva. Top. No,
Lyoto Machidas.
Those did not generate more power than Michael Chandler's.
I think you're wrong.
I know I'm not wrong. He literally stepped back and field goal kicked. There was no karate involved. There was no Anderson Silva was straight.
He did not field goal kick. His leg did not go back. He did not bring his leg back.
But you can. He did.
He got a little hip into it, a little torque.
Oh, he got a lot of torque into it.
But you can't call it a field goal kick.
It was a field goal kick. That's exactly what it was. Anderson Silva and Lyoto Machidas are more of like, especially Lyoto Machida because he's karate guy. They're coming from like it's quick. It's just there's nothing.
Yeah, and
there's no force behind it.
Vitor twice, poor guy, got murdered.
Yes, no, they got murdered. If you get kicked in the face unexpectedly, you're gonna get killed. So I was very excited with Chandler's post-fight call out of the winner of Oliveira Gaethje,
which he won't get.
But what he might get is McGregor. Now, I don't know if that's what they'll do. To be honest, I don't think they will. I don't think McGregor's going to fight I don't think he's going to fight this year. I think we'll see him next year. And I'm willing to bet McGregor's going to get Nate Diaz. After this call-out, though, Michael Chandler, not only did he get McGregor's attention, but he got a lot of other people's attention, like the fan base. I guarantee Michael Chandler gained the most followers after almost an oops, right? Almost an oops. Gained the most followers after his knockout. I think they're going to pair up Michael Chandler with Nate Diaz next.
Because of Twitter?
It just makes sense. Nate Diaz is saying he wants to fight in July.
Nate Diaz is never going to fight again.
Nate Diaz will definitely fight again because he has one fight left on his contract, and he wants to probably just get out of it so he can fight Jake Paul. That's what's going to happen.
I doubt that.
No.
I don't think he'll fight.
No, because he's going to be under contract forever. He has one more fight left. He's going to fight, and I know he'll fight anybody. It's just probably he wants to get paid, and the UFC doesn't want to pay him. I mean, Diaz is going to fight Dustin Poirier or Michael Chandler next. Because Michael Chandler,
Poirier. I hope he fights Poirier.
I would love to see it. I mean,
I think Chandler walks through Diaz.
Oh, and most people walk through Diaz. Most people in lightweight and welterweight walk through Diaz in the top 15 of each division. Nate Diaz is not that good.
Top 15, top 10 definitely. Top 15.
Top 10 for sure. Do you even want to talk about the co-main?
No, skip it.
Oh, I can't skip it. I got to talk about it.
Rose versus Esparza. Six significant strikes thrown throughout the first 3 rounds.
Maybe more like 10.
Esparza's a champ. Cookie Monster. Good for her. I hope you're having a good wedding this weekend.
How much of a prima donna is Rose Namajunas?
Don't care. Skip it.
And did you know that Pat Barry is groomed Rose? Like he started training with Rose when she was 14 and he was like 29 or something like that. And now she's 28 and he's whatever he is, and people are saying he groomed her.
Yeah.
You think that's true?
Yeah.
Probably. Poor Rose.
And
I hate Rose. And guess what?
I didn't hate Rose.
I've always not liked Rose. When she kept on saying, I think she even pulled out of a fight because she had PTSD from McGregor's incident. Like, Rose, man, go shave your head more, you know? Next time, shave it down fully. She is such a prima donna. 12-5. She deserved to lose that fight. And the fact that even she thought that she won for a second is
because she got that takedown at the last second.
Where Carla Esparza got a takedown earlier in the fight as well. That was just as significant.
First ever UFC strawweight champ.
I just don't care to see either of them fight, which sucks.
Give me Joanna versus Whaley, though.
Yeah, but I want Joanna to be champion. I wish they would just strip Carla Esparza and be like, yeah, sorry, Yold, and then just give it to Joanna versus Zhang.
Let her get through the wedding.
Yeah, well, she's probably already through it by now.
I think it was this weekend. So it was the weekend after
this upcoming weekend?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, by the way, we have to talk about our weekend trip. Let's talk about it real quick after this. Charlie Olives versus Justin Gaethje. Charlie Olives, I was talking to Dylan about this day at work. I truly believe he's the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world right now. I don't think there is a gentleman at lightweight or welterweight outside of maybe 3 people that beat Charlie Olives. There's plenty that gives him problems.
3. Usman,
Khamzat, and Gilbert Burns are the 3 that would probably give Charlie Olives some trouble. Other than that, Charlie Olives walks through Colby Covington. He walks through Masvidal. Anybody else?
Masvidal's not even a top.
Anybody else in the top of the welterweight division, Charlie Olives runs through. Like, seriously, he's that good. And I don't think anyone in lightweight beats him. Islam maybe poses a threat, but I really don't think that fight will be close.
He's just a B version of Khabib.
And
we got robbed of not being able to see Charlie Olives versus Khabib.
I think Charlie Olives beats Khabib. I really do.
I think it's a great fight.
It's a fucking sign me up for that. Seriously.
Yeah. Charge $250 for the pay-per-view. Don't care. I'm buying.
No, I'm not buying.
Well, then
you can buy.
Then,
I'm not buying.
Then you don't care.
I'm not $250.
I'm not saying just you.
If people chipped in, if everyone paid like $20, and we had a party.
I think everyone now kind of agrees on one thing though.
What's that?
We don't like Gaethje.
No, I didn't.
It's.
Listen, when Oliveira was going through his shit, I remember when Oliveira, I think he beat the record for submissions in the UFC. I forgot who he faced. I think it was it, what's his name? Used to fight at welterweight, Maverick there. What was his name?
Oh, Mike Chiesa.
Yeah, didn't he beat Mike Chiesa by submission to have the record? Or am I thinking of some?
I have no idea.
Anyways. He beat somebody, and it was like, oh, now he has the record for most submissions. And I remember watching that fight and be like, wow, that was really good. It's the basic of me. Wow, that was really good. And fast forward, his last 4 fights have been a very, very, very unanimous decision win versus Tony Ferguson. This was back when Tony Ferguson was still scary. I think he had just lost, right? Or was that his first loss?
That was his first loss.
So Tony Ferguson, then he goes...
No, Gaethje. Then Oliveira.
So then he goes through, who's next?
Then it's Chandler.
Chandler, yep.
Knocks
out Chandler in 2 rounds, submits Poirier in 3 rounds, submits Gaethje in 1 round. That is a killer lineup of people. I don't know how you can say there's anyone better. I really don't. Alex Volkanovski is very good pound for pound. Izzy is very good pound for pound. Usman's very good pound for pound. I don't know where Charlie Olives is currently as we record this.
They'll probably put him to 4, if I had to guess.
I would put him. I mean, man, I would put him at 1 for real. I would really put him at 1. I think right now
they definitely won't put him past Usman.
I think it definitely. Well, he's
how
many title defense? Well,
Usman has like 6 title defenses.
This technically wasn't a title defense, but this would have been Charlie Olives'
and
second.
That's definitely why they're not going to put him at 1 because if you miss weight,
which is
I know
travesty. It should go Charlie Olives, Usman, Izzy, Volkanovski. I have a lot of respect for Volkanovski now.
As soon as Jones fights again, he goes back to 1.
If he wins. If he beats Stipe. That's a big if.
Dude's looking.
Yeah, I know that, but... so yeah, Charlie Olives submits Justin Gaethje in round 1. I don't know what to match make next for Justin Gaethje. I mean, he's fought everybody, so I don't know.
Do Poirier again.
They won't do that.
I don't see Poirier actually fighting at 55 ever again, to be honest.
I don't know if they're going to do that. They'll probably do Justin Gaethje versus, like,
Islam.
The loser of Islam versus Beneil.
I don't think they'll make the Beneil fight. I think they'll just give Islam the October slot against Oliveira.
And you know what we're also forgetting as well? And I've thought about this yesterday, about the fact that Volkanovski's been very, very vocal about moving to lightweight. That is if he gets through Max Holloway,
it's a big if.
The big if. He is 2-0 against them on the cards.
On the cards.
Big if. But Volkanovski also has a
Stud.
full head of steam.
Stud.
He is the most confident man on the planet right now besides Charlie Olives.
Yeah, probably Usman.
No, Usman, his fights against Kobe Covington were very, very close.
That's a good point.
But if Volkanovski beats...
Shevchenko.
Okay, yeah. But
murder.
But she literally is fighting people off the street. That doesn't count. I truly think that if Volkanovski beats Holloway in July...
He'll move up.
He could very well move up. And maybe at this point they make the Beneil versus Islam fight. Or maybe they just give it to Islam. In that case, if Oliveira beats Islam and if Volkanovski beats Holloway, I guarantee that will be the next fight. Unless Conor McGregor wins and then he wants to call out somebody. But I don't think that's going to happen. And I really don't like Conor McGregor's chances against Charlie Olives.
Yeah, it's scary.
That could be a fight. Champ versus champ. Volkanovski versus Oliveira. Oliveira kicks the shit out of Volkanovski, I think, personally. I don't know that. I mean, Volkanovski could finish him.
Volk fought at heavyweight.
He did. He's fighting at 145 right now, and he fought at heavyweight. That's got to be like the most method acting of all time, but in real life and punching people in the face. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that fight, Volkanovski versus Holloway 3?
I think Holloway takes it.
I
think Holloway took the second fight pretty easily. Mm-hmm. He dropped him 3 times. So and nothing like there wasn't like Volk was hurting him on the ground, right? I think he took him down twice and held him there for a few minutes, but I thought it was pretty clear. And I think based on how Holloway's looked since that second fight, he murdered our boy. He killed him.
Okay.
Absolutely killed him. And then murdered Yair.
Yep.
And also, T-City versus Yair was announced for a fight night, so we won't have to pay for it.
Beautiful.
I don't know. I think Holloway's the guy.
I think Holloway probably pulls it off, but I'm looking forward to that fight regardless.
Yeah, I'm very. What is the co-main?
It's the co-main of Izzy versus Cannonier, which is again
Izzy will probably just decision.
Probably be a boring fight.
Probably gonna be a super boring fight.
But there's also Sugar Shane versus Sean versus Pedro Munez.
Yeah, it's also
Sean.
It's also Robbie Lawler versus Brian Barberena.
Yeah, and Sugar Sean is gonna kick the shit out of Pedro Munez. He is going to absolutely murder Pedro Munez.
I hope so.
If Cody Garbrandt does what he did, I know he lost to Pedro Munez, but if he does what he did to Pedro Munez, Sugar Sean is gonna destroy
Aldo
him.
fucked up Munez.
Yeah, he's also could potentially fight for a title next. Yeah. So
not anymore.
But okay, we're 31 minutes in. Let's talk about the whiskey.
We haven't talked about whiskey.
No, we haven't talked about whiskey. So timestamp below if you want to go right to the whiskey review. It's starting now. We are doing Old Forester 2017 Birthday Bourbon. This is a unicorn for a lot of people. This is a yearly release from Old Forester. I don't know why it's called Birthday Bourbon.
I got it.
Okay.
It says it in the thing.
Okay, put your face towards the mic. Why don't you put the bottle right in front of the mic?
To celebrate the September 2nd birthday of its creator, George Garvin Brown.
Beautiful. So that's why this is called Birthday Bourbon. We've tried this in the past, and I wasn't a fan of it.
I was, not as much as I am now, but I think when we first tried it, it was just opened.
Could have.
If I remember,
this was a while ago. This was on the better part of a year ago, and this has been open. So this has been open for a while. Matt was generous enough to donate this bottle, the rest of this bottle, to us to review, and for Kale for his birthday because he's 24 and he's very old. So yeah, man, I don't really care about birthday bourbon. I know a lot of people do. Well, it's never been something that I've like hunted for because if you do ever find it, it's $1,000.
Yeah, in New England, it's not something you really can fight for. Rhode Island doesn't get it.
Do they have an MSRP on birthday bourbon?
I think it's 150.
It's probably 150. That's usually what those are. Let's go on to Breaking Bourbon, huh? What do you say? It is $130 for 2021. And this is age dated 12 years.
That's
72% corn, 18% rye. I understand.
You reading?
Do you think I don't know what I'm doing?
Why are you reading it?
72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% malted barley is the supposed mash bill of past releases. That's not confirmed. There is no mash bill for Old Forester Birthday Bourbon because I searched it before the podcast and there's nothing. We had at our Kentucky Bourbon Ball a private tasting from Jackie Zeiken, who's a master taster for Old Forester.
Greatest job in the world.
Correct. We had Barrel Strength 2022 Birthday Bourbon. Barrel Strength.
Oh, it was 22.
It was this year's release. Nothing else could be said about it. It had to be kept on the DL.
What's going to be the color?
I don't know.
I was curious.
I don't know. And it was great. It was very good. I like Old Forester. Obviously, 1920 is a staple. 1910 is very tasty. I've always loved Muddy Fruit Loop, classic moment from our whiskey journey. That wasn't even on this podcast, but that was Life in the Basement.
Which is
100 proof, by the way.
1920 is falling out of favor with us.
Yeah.
1910 is kind of the, at least for me.
No, I had 1920 the other night, and it's just it's a higher rye content. I'm usually not a fan of that.
It's just so medicinal to me.
It's very cherry medicinal, like a cherry cough syrup, but it's bourbon, and it's 115 proof, and it's me likey that proof. All right, so on the nose, this is an Old Forester nose, right? This is banana. Okay,
banana runs.
That's
a Bourbon Junkies reference, but it's rings true.
Very, very rye forward. Very smelling above its proof for sure. This is 94, you said?
96.
This is hitting above its proof on the nose. And I'm giving it a solid swirly poo right now.
I have not been swirly pooing it.
Yeah, this is cinnamon. There's that cherry note on this as well. I guess banana. I don't know.
Banana.
I'm getting banana just because you said banana.
No. That's what happened with 1920 on episode 50.
Really? Mm-hmm. What happened there?
I said banana, and you're like, what? I said, yes, there's a banana note. You went, no, there's not. And then, like, 10 minutes later, like, okay, I'm starting to get banana.
Because that's what I'm saying. You can just tell people what to say. That's why I don't like to look at what other people say anymore before I review, because it influences my decision.
Yeah, there's a really, really strong 3.5-week-old thinly sliced boar's head ham note to it.
That's funny you said boar's head, because yesterday I went to the store and I was like, I just need a half pound of turkey. I don't need a full pound because I just don't. I don't want to go bad. I throw my deli meat away after a week no matter what. Sometimes a week and a half. I don't like to sniff it and figure out it's bad, because then it turns me off from that said meat for a while. And I walked into Stop and Shop yesterday, and I don't go to Stop and Shop often. Mm-hmm. I'll have no food in my apartment for weeks.
Yeah, it's a problem.
It's not a problem. It's me being disciplined, and not allowing myself to spend money. And I was like, I'm gonna splurge a little bit.
Oh God, you got a full pound, didn't you?
And no, I got a half pound, but I got boar's head. And they had them pre-packaged.
You didn't get Stop and Shop, right?
It was $7.49 for a half pound.
They give you less.
Oh, for sure they give you less. It was below a half pound. It was like 0.49 something. Yeah, it was bullshit.
Just get Stop and Shop, right?
No,
because 1 pound is 2 pounds. It's awesome.
But boar's head is so much better than Stop and Shop brand. I love boar's head deli meat.
Yeah.
So you're saying this is 3-week-old, so bad, thinly sliced?
No, I was just trying to put a random note in your head.
No, I get a lot of. I do get a cherry on this. I get a nice cinnamon cherry. That rye is forward in there. I'm getting a lot of cherry on that, actually.
Mm-hmm. It's fruity.
It is fruity. There's like a dark cherry on it.
I wouldn't say dark.
No, I would say dark.
I wouldn't.
I would for sure say
that's
dark.
maraschino cherry.
No, it's not maraschino cherry, but it might be black.
Maraschino's the dark cherry.
It might be black cherry though.
That's like a Shirley Temple cherry.
No, I get cinnamon. This is cinnamon cherry. I'm not really getting bananas. I'm not gonna lie. I think you're full of shit on that one. Mm-mm. What else are you getting?
Let's see what this says. For the nose, we have butterscotch, dried fig, and tobacco, with a touch of chocolate-covered candied citrus.
I don't get the citrus.
You getting peach?
No.
You getting orange?
No.
You getting tangerine? You getting grapefruit?
It's lighter.
You getting honeydew?
It's lighter.
You getting lemon?
In the nose, but I'm not getting a citrus. You just named off a lot of citruses, and I'm honestly kind of impressed.
Thank you.
I couldn't name that many citruses. I definitely wouldn't have thought of a grapefruit. You were just thinking of the White Claw flavor, or the High Noon flavors.
And then honeydew came out of right field.
Honeydew. Well, you go to Honeydew every Sunday.
Saturday.
Sorry.
I'm sipping.
My give it a second.
I've given it 39 minutes.
Yeah, give it a second because we need to cluck. We need to clank.
Cluck. Baka.
What was that?
There's a clock.
Was that a chicken with Down syndrome?
Yeah. You said cluck glasses.
Yeah, I lost my
idiot thing to say.
I lost my ability to perform correct vocabulary for a second. I said cluck.
Well, cluck this glasses.
Yeah, okay. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, super light on the palate. I don't even have anything right now. A little bit of standard vanilla, oak.
The cherry follows through.
I don't taste anything. That is a super light. That's a direct opposite of the nose. The nose is very pungent. This is not a pungent.
You didn't get the cherry following through?
Not really.
I just had a sip of water too, so I kind of.
No, not really at all. Yeah, I know. Strange. Doctor Strange.
I was just gonna say that.
A little bit of cherry after a swishy poo.
Just gargle birthday bourbon.
Oh, I gotta coat it around my mouth. A little cherry on the swishy poo. This palate is kind of disappointing. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's tasty.
I get the butterscotch way on the back.
So do I. That's a good point. It's a bit of like a velvety mouthfeel. You know what I'm saying? It's like
a honey. It feels like
it's
viscous. Not
viscous.
honey.
It's thick.
You and this fucking viscous.
It's viscous.
Every time I'm on here, you bring up viscosity.
Yeah, well, it's important to note in a bourbon because
they give us a palate too.
Read the palate. Go ahead and read the palate. I don't give a bollock.
Toffee and brown sugar lead into dried cherry, black peppercorn, and roaring spice, with a finish of dry and intense spice rounding out into hints of floral bouquet. That's where the lightness comes in.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's strong.
Yeah. So the black peppercorn is there. There is a tad bit of a spice. I feel like it's more of like an oaky barrel spice, though.
Told you the cherry went through.
The cherry does come through a little bit. I agree with the butterscotch. So that's a solid note. I guess toffee. I mean, like toffee. When I think of toffee,
it kind of follows through with butterscotch. And oops, sorry.
Yeah, for sure. One of my go-to drinks now at Starbucks is a toffee nut iced Americano grande.
Whatever the last time you went to Starbucks?
Today.
Did you really? Oh, because you're in the office.
Yeah. I didn't get toffee nut.
What'd you bring for lunch?
Turkey and cheese, boar's head.
One sandwich?
Yes.
8 hours, one sandwich?
Nope. I also had a protein bar and a yogurt for breakfast. And
protein bar?
Yeah, my refrigerated protein bars are always.
Oh, those are disgusting.
No, they're not disgusting.
Yeah,
they're delicious.
No, they suck.
And they actually sell those at Starbucks too. Believe it or not.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Because I had to go to Starbucks. Tasty. Oh, dude, I got a ham and Gouda croissant from Starbucks last time I went there. Heated up.
Oh yeah, they just took it out of the
they took it out of the plastic
case where the flies are.
Yeah, and I ate it. This is good.
Yeah, that's literally the last time I was in a Starbucks and I was looking at the sandwiches in there. There was a fly on one of them.
They don't actually take the sandwiches out of there.
I understand that, but it's
that birthday cake. I didn't get a birthday cake pop, but I used to.
By the way, is the cake from your birthday gone?
I don't think so. I think
both
it's
of them.
up. Halfway bars are still there.
Okay, good. That's what I care about because I got to come through and get a few halfway bars.
When?
I don't know. Soon. Before I leave for DC.
Oh, I forgot your bottle. Not your bottle, but your bottle for pictures that you're gonna review.
Yeah. See, hey, by the way, a little bit insider. You see how low those bars are right there? Yeah. That means you mumbling.
Well, you told me to watch the green, and my green's always hit.
This is not your first time doing this. This is at least your fifth time doing this.
Favorite guest.
No, I mean like in total, even with Life in the Basement. It was making a little jokey joke. I'm drunk. Sorry. You didn't laugh.
I'm thinking.
I don't get a whole lot of. I'm not very impressed with this palette. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. It's
very good.
It's just not. It's not.
You
special.
almost. It's
not $130 good.
With unicorn bottles, us especially, we fall into the trap of expecting like a very complex palette, and other than E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof,
Stag Junior.
Stag Junior, and probably 4 grain. Nothing has given us complex. None of the old Fitzes. Not Heaven Hills.
This is actually, now when I really dive into it, interesting on the back because that peppercorn's coming out a bit more. I really do agree with the butterscotch. That's a good note, but there's something else there that I won't be able to pick up right now.
Banana.
No, it's not a banana.
Warm baked multigrain bread.
Maybe I'm getting that tobacco-ness more on the palate.
Well,
that
comes with the peppercorn.
Oh, does it? How so?
You can anytime someone says it's mostly with tobacco and leather, that's the same thing.
No, not at all.
It's
because
the same thing.
No, it's not. It's not. That's not the same thing. That's
First
completely
off,
wrong.
When you drink leather,
you smell leather.
So loud.
So disrespectful. They should know who gives a Dram is recording. You smell leather, and what you smell, because as we know, all odors are particulate. You can kind of guess You can kind of guess what they taste like.
Yeah.
So I
Tobacco
don't go.
And leather can
do
be
I sometimes
together.
lick my leather chair? Yeah, but I think of like a baseball glove.
Yeah, you are like a cat.
Why? Because I'm curious. And soft on my feet. Why?
You're definitely not soft on your feet. That's probably wrong. You're like the definition of like old man Solo. Just
it's such a direct of a comparison because no one knows who Solo is listening to this.
Yeah, but the people who know.
People who should know probably aren't listening to the podcast.
Solo's our dead dog.
Don't look into the camera and say that, dude. Come on, be a little bit respectful.
We're drinking birthday.
How am I like old man Solo?
Because you're clueless.
You are. You just don't know what you're talking about, man. Like the TV show? No, it's Shameless.
I was gonna say, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. This is definitely a solid pour.
It's definitely good.
If I saw this, if someone was like, "Hey, I got this for $130, $150," I'm picking it up.
Well, yeah.
I just don't know
if not strictly for novelty.
Like, this is a bit more complex than something like Eagle Rare, but like, there are definitely bourbons in this proof range that are exceeding this in terms of taste.
Oh yeah.
With that being said, we got to give it a ranking. So let's think about everything.
Don't care. Got mine.
Let's think about everything that goes into the ranking. The bottle is great. It's an iconic bottle. MSRP for $130, but you can buy it for $1,000. So if you're buying this for $1,000, just like if you're buying Weller Single Barrel for $800, and this is a throwback to not only my podcast, but one of our favorite podcasts. Put on a vest with a bunch of zippers and take a hike, right? Do you agree?
Yep.
Right. Yeah. So don't pay that much for this bottle.
We saw the 2021 release one time this past year. We didn't even actually see it. We saw it posted on an Instagram story. I messaged them what they wanted. I think they said it was $750.
And honestly, that's lower than I have ever seen it in public. But
this is not. It's obviously this is the 2017.
I'm getting a little bit of like a waffly maple syrup with waffles on it too. It wasn't an oops. Wasn't an oops because you were wrapping up your point.
I wasn't wrapping. I wasn't wrapping. I was like 3/4 of the way there.
I think
now it's gone.
I think you're. I don't think you're right, but
it's gone. Yeah. But regardless, this is not this 2017 expression, and I doubt any expression. No bottle is worth more than $300.
I agree.
Everyone can agree on that. Pappy 23 has an MSRP of $300. That's what it has been said. This is what this bourbon is worth. There's no bourbon that's worth more than $300.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I don't know what Pappy 25 or.
But again, this is it that good though? Like, is it that good?
I mean, it's good. It's good.
Is Double Eagle Very Rare $2,000 good?
No,
it's just the novelty. A lot of times you're paying for the novelty, which is expected.
And it goes into the score.
It does go into the score.
I think you take it in a bad way though.
Like I do take it in a bad way.
I put in because we get to if we're experiencing it, it means we get the novelty. So
right, but I am thinking about the people that are listening, that are watching, that won't be able to experience this because they're never gonna find it, and they're not gonna pay $800 for a bottle. They're not gonna pay $75 for a pour at a bar if they ever have it.
I'm not thinking of myself.
So you give your score first then.
Flat 9. Was gonna be an 8.9. Rounded it up for the novelty.
Okay.
Because it's a birthday bourbon.
I am a little bit disappointed. It's good. I'm going to give it like an 8.6. I think it's solid. I definitely would buy this at MSRP, mostly 100%. For the novelty.
Any day of the week.
And honestly, this is a bottle I can see myself killing. It's very, very...
It's easy.
Easy on the palate. It's almost, some would say, light on the palate. The nose is phenomenal. Really solid nose. Really classic high rye bourbon nose. Old Forester nose. It's just lacking a little bit of what I would expect for $130 on the palate. Mm-hmm. It's 97, you said, right? 97 proof. 96. So it's not going to knock your socks off to a whiskey drinker like me. I mean, maybe to someone who's just drinking whiskey for the first time, this is gold. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe that proof point is decent for entry level.
It really is.
Anything sub 100. So, but I mean, you take like Stag Batch 17, which I'm not just talking about proof, but even at 128, it's that finish. It's so much more complex than this. Not to say that that's bad or that's good, but
all right. You ready to wrap it up?
Yeah, I'm done.
Beautiful. So, do you want to tell people? Do you plug yourself when you're done here or no?
No. What do I have to plug?
Yeah. Do you want people to follow?
I'll probably be back here next month. See you then.
No, you won't be back here next month. You're back on here when I tell you you're back on here. Anyways,
I'm back on here when you ask me to be on here.
I told you for this one. I was like, hey.
No, you said let's do birthday bourbon. I said okay.
Yeah, told you.
Well, you think you're gonna do the H. Taylor barrel proof without me?
No, I never said that. I never said that either.
Think you're gonna do Make There's 10 without me? No.
Mm. The only one that we need to do together is the H. Taylor barrel proof.
Make There's Toasted?
No, we don't need to do that together.
No, my bottle.
Whatever. Okay.
Just kidding.
Yeah, there it is. That's what I was waiting for. You submit.
Yeah.
You kiss
my
toes.
Be on the lookout for Connor posting about Jack Daniel's Bonded, because picked it up today. He's gonna take the credit.
Yeah, and you know what? While you picked it up, I was working. I know you were working too, but I was working in an office, so that's why I couldn't go pick it up.
I was on the road.
So, anyways, thank you for tuning in to this episode of Who Gives a Dram, everybody. Make sure you're subscribed wherever you're listening to the podcast here. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube if you're watching the videos. Make sure you're following on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Who Gives a Dram. Check out Grapevine Media for more content. And if you want one of these beautiful sweatshirt or crew neck sweatshirts, t-shirts, whatever, Instagram bio, click the link in there. It'll bring you to my shop. And you can buy some of this beautiful merch. Super comfy. Kale doesn't even have one yet because he hasn't.
You usually get me one for my birthday, but
this time you got to buy one. Anyways, thanks again, Kale. Always great to have you on. Glad we could do birthday bourbon. And always remember, whiskey's the water of life. So let's start living.